Finding and buying your first commercial property can appear to be a bit complex. Most people are familiar with residential property because they've all owned houses or sold houses or units, whatever it may be. But commercial property is very similar in a lot of ways, but there are a few more steps to go through. The idea of this guide is to make it easier for you. Purchasing commercial property is a significant financial decision that requires careful planning and consideration. Whether you're looking to diversify your investment portfolio or start a new business venture, understanding the intricacies of the commercial property market is critical. This guide will equip you with the essential knowledge to purchase your first commercial property, covering everything from selecting the right type of property to managing it post-purchase. The first thing is, what type of property should you go for? Depends what sort of investor you are. With a conservative investor, you're willing to take a bit more risk. So it basically boils down to the higher the risk, the higher reward, and vice versa. So commercial real estate offers a diverse array of property types, each catering for different investment goals and operational needs. You've got your basic office buildings, which basically is the range from single-tenant offices to large multi-tenant skyscrapers, and they're typical classified as A, which is top of the market, B and C, which are the lower rental, well-functioning places. Then you've got retail places. They include large shopping centres, the large Westfield strip malls, standalone stores. They usually benefit from high foot traffic and visibility, but are sensitive to economic fluctuations and consumer needs. The next major one is warehouses and industrial space. They're used for manufacturing, storage, and distribution. Now, which ones are better? It's all fashionable. Years ago, the office buildings were very good. Retail was pretty popular too for a long time, and warehouses were out of fashion. Things changed with the pandemic we had recently. Things are going more and more online, which means warehouses in greater need. Consequently, the prices of warehouses have increased, and they've been a good investment for a long time. But with all good investments, the same way that retail has the yield become a bit tighter, the same thing's happening with warehouse space. High demand. Will the prices keep going up? No one knows. But the problem with warehouses is you're limited to the height limit and so to land. So that could be a problem. You've obviously got a cost-benefit situation for people leasing the premise. Retail, again, online, I need more warehouse space, delivery, that sort of thing. Some major department stores are looking at reducing the spaces because they're going more online. So the demand has decreased there. On the other hand, you've got office space, which has suffered considerably because of the pandemic. People will start working from home. They're getting used to working from home, and occupancy rates are much lower now because people don't need to go every day. They sometimes only go once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Very few offices operate 5 days a week these days. But there is talk of people coming back. Whether that'll be absorbed system, we don't know. The same thing with warehouses. Will it be full occupancy all the time? Probably will be, but there's limited amount of occupancy there, limited amount of space there. So maybe the prices may keep on going up. I think that yields will shrink, but time will tell. And also within office space, things changed. I recall when I was in property management 25 years ago, modern office space was twice the price of like warehouse type office space. Fashions change. Inner city offices became trendy. They wanted the warehouse, the wooden floors, the high ceilings, that sort of thing. The price, as I said, were initially about half the cost, half the rental for warehouse type office space. Now it's probably equal in a lot of cases of areas. Things change all the time. Then you've got other type of commercial property, others such as health services, including nursing home, defined facilities, private hospitals, doctor surgeries, medical centres, that sort of thing. Sporting centres, indoor sports, fitness centres, weight management, that sort of thing. They changing all the time. They come and go. There's different fads come and go, but they're an investment. Childcare, that high demand, returns are much lower than they used to be because there's increasing demand. Where, for example, we had a childcare centre with a good tenant in there, 10, 15 years ago for about 7, 8. It's hard to sell at 7, 8% return on them. Now they're selling for 3.5, 4, 4.5% return. The demand is stronger. They're pretty strong businesses, and people are learning to appreciate them. And they're on par with service stations, a supermarket, franchise operations as well. So they are becoming good investments for people, safer investments anyway. Whether it's return you want, another thing, but they are becoming safer in a lot of people's eyes. Then you've got things like boarding houses. They were low demand before, but as the households get smaller, people want smaller spaces, more transition, population, moving from city to city, state to state, suburb to suburb, divorces, all that sort of thing. There's a demand for smaller spaces for people to live individually or in couples only. They're filling that gap there. They're becoming more popular too. You may have 12 rooms or 15 rooms. You lose one tenant, you've only lost a bit of your revenue for a short period of time. They seem to fill pretty quickly at the moment. You think like storage units. Again, units have become more popular because of land. Bigger houses are reduced. People need storage facilities to store their goods. They're becoming pretty popular too. They're fairly safe. You got things like recycling yards, rubbish. Now, we're conscious about the environment, conscious of recycling. They're becoming popular. Hospitality, hotels, motels, backpackers, cater for travellers and tourists. They offer potential for high returns, but come with high operational complexity and risk. Again, the situation with the pandemic, people weren't travelling, so people weren't dropping off. A lot of hotels were changed to situations for COVID people travelling for those sort of things. We had situations with hotels where with COVID, they weren't doing so well. People weren't travelling, like almost empty. So what now? Airlines are back. People are travelling more. Hotels are becoming more of the money. Return better. They are a good at the moment and give good return. They are delicate. You've got to factor all these things. Most importantly, homework. To make an informed decision, conduct thorough research on each property type. Consider factors like market demand, location, tenant demographics, and economic. Some things may be more popular. For example, offices in urban areas may see high demand, but face competition and high cost. So these days, look around, see what's happening in the local economy. We've got artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, and all those sort of things, which can help you with demographic studies, movements, population growths, that sort of thing. So do your homework, or work with someone, do your homework with. Consider your investment goals. Clarify your investment objective to guide your property research. Do you want a steady cash flow? If you prioritize regular income, look for properties with reliable long-term tenants, such as boarding houses, established retail places, multinational. You've got your franchise operations like McDonald's and KFC. You've got your national supermarket chains. You've got your service stations. You've got your childcare centres. Got other large government operations. They tend to have a steady income, long leases, well-maintained properties, but the return is lower. Your objective may be long-term appreciation. If you aim for property value growth, focus on areas with strong economic and population growth prospects. Investing in emerging markets or areas undergoing redevelopment, but significant appreciation potential. So look around, look at the local council, go to the local council, the government sites, see what new roads are proposed, new zoning situation, population changes, walk around the area, is it more families around? Are you seeing more people around? Are you seeing more retirees? Look at the type of people that are there. Is it more upmarket or more middle market, more down market? Check it all out. You look at the tenant profile, the type of tenant you want to attract to your particular property. Do you want a corporate tenant, which are normally found in office buildings, which usually sign long-term leases, providing stability, but requiring features that meet business needs? So, for example, normally a grade office space, prime retail real estate, prime industrial place, prime sites. So they're demanding the best. And if you offer the best, which is top condition, you'll attract this sort of people. But the return won't be as good, but they'll be safer. For example, retail spaces need tenants that can attract consistent foot traffic. Understanding local consumer trends and economic health of the area is critical. So again, go back to it. Is the area, is it getting better or getting worse? Are there changes there which could affect it down the track or not? Does it look like they're going to do something, maybe put a prison there or a nuclear plant or whatever it may be? If it's all these things sound a bit radical, but these sort of things, to a very extent, do affect foot traffic and attractiveness of people to move into the area, live close to the shops and shop from there. So residential, again, like boarding houses, lodging houses, property catered for individuals, requiring focus on amenities, community features, and to retain tenants. So you've got to have certain features to attract people. The thing is, like, I've had situations where, for example, that especially in regional areas or country areas where there've been changes, a new road has come through, new highways cut through the town or bypass with the traffic, or maybe it's done something to increase the traffic. Maybe new industry is moving in there, or several industries are moving in there. Things change all the time. Keep up to date with what's going on in the area. Do your research and you'll be safer. Day-to-day management requirement. Different properties come with varying degrees of management complexity. Retail spaces, again, it depends. If you've got a large shopping centre, they manage it for you. So it's basically a passive investment. You may have a Westfield or Stockland or whatever it may be. They manage it for you. If you've got a shopping centre, you want to manage it yourself. You've got to be more hands-on, especially with multiple tenants. You've got diverse needs, require frequent oversight and interaction. Offices tend to be more passive. They just go in there, do their own thing. There's not many other requirements there. They seem to be easy to manage. And industrial, again, fewer tenants, smaller operation requirements. They're reasonably easy. Once they move in there, they set it up the way they want, where they want to be cooking there or storing goods there or manufacturing there, and they're set. Obviously, you've got to make sure the development approvals are in and place and with the local zoning. But once they're in, they're probably in, and they tend to tick over all the time. Then you've got things like hotels, boarding houses, those sort of things, childcare centres, whether you want to put a tenant in there to look after for you or managing yourself. You have to have expertise for these businesses. If you have got the expertise, the chance of getting a great investment are really in hand. And the other thing which people don't consider is that you may go into a business, for example, a hotel or boarding house or a restaurant or something like that, as an owner-operator, build it up, and you can sell the business, lease it out to a long-term lessee, and have a good little nest egg down the track. How many times do you hear the situation where people have said, if I've been here for 30 years, I could have bought this place twice over. That particular person, if they bought that property 30 years ago, they could sell the business. I've got videos on here which show examples on this channel, which show examples of people that put into their own properties and they've been successful and they've got a nice retirement income at the moment. So think about these things. So if you've got a portfolio properties, you have to consider how to handle property management. You do it yourself or you get professional management. Self-management is viable if you prefer hands-on control and have the time and expertise to handle the daily operations. It doesn't suit everyone. Some people prefer it. They've got the time, the experience, the patience. It's worthwhile doing. Save a lot of money. Or you may decide professional management. Hiring a property management company can be beneficial for investors. Seek a more passive role. They handle tenant relations, maintenance, collect the rent for you, and this comes a lot with cost. So prepared to pay the extra money for a manager, professional management company, may be worthwhile for you. Or, on the other hand, a lot of investors prefer to manage it themselves. Then you have a situation where you should use specialize or diversify. Now, there's arguments on both sides. Focusing on specific top property allows you to develop deep expertise and operational efficiency. Market knowledge, specializing in one property type, helps you understand market dynamics and tenant better, allowing you to make more informed decisions. So your background may be in hospitality. So you buy restaurant investments, that sort of thing. Accommodation, you might want boarding house. You may be an expert in offices. See, that's your area. So you get to be specialized in that area, all the problems from the past experience, how to overcome them, what tenant demand is in the area. So you specialize in that type all the time. It's got advantages. Then there's the argument of diversifying. So again, I go back to the example of the pandemic, how things have changed in the office market, industrial market, hospitality, that sort of thing, how things have improved a lot, some have decreased a lot, and the aftermath. But generally, it could be a good policy because, if you've got an office, hotel, retail, and one is not has a drop off in demand, the other ones support it. So diversifying is good. A lot of people, because that way you spread your eggs better. So basically, risk mitigation. Diversifying your portfolio protects against market downturns in one sector. As I said before, your retail is struggling, your industrial or your restaurant or hospitality investment may cover it, and vice versa. Optimise returns. A mixed portfolio can offer both steady and income from reliable tenant and capital growth of appreciating assets, because some have high return, possibly high capital gain as they become more popular. For example, industrial, it wasn't very popular 3-4 years ago before the pandemic. Now become popular. Again, hotels weren't doing very well. They were selling fire sales everywhere. They were giving them away basically because they couldn't afford to keep them going. I think change, tourists are back, numbers are up, revenue is up. Now they say there's a shortage of hotels around. How they change? So demand increases. Now the flavor of the month. Who knows what will happen in 2, 3, 5 years' time? So diversifying can have advantages. So what's driving your market? The research fundamentals. Successful commercial real estate investment relies on understanding market fundamentals. Population growth. Areas with increasing population see high demand for all types of real estate, from housing to commercial spaces. Again, these sort of statistics are available online, council records, state government records. Look at the happening. Again, utilize things like artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Gemini, those sort of programs. They can help you there, or work with someone who understands to use those programs. Find gaps in the market. Economic development. Look for regions with robust economic activity, diverse industries, job growth. These factors drive demand for office, retail, industrial, hospitality, health services, etc. What's going on? For example, with job growth, a new business is moving to the area, the roads are being improved. The government has long-term programs for certain areas to encourage more people to live and work there. Look at these areas. Look at the opportunities for you. I can be pay off big time down the track. So infrastructure improvement, schools, links, commercial shop, something, transport systems. All these things help. Easy for people to live and can there. Facilities for them to live there, or move there, live and work there, and spend their money there. work there. Lease your property. Once you've found your property, or you've got an idea what you want, get the funding. Again, this works on the risk factor, which the bank assesses risk and non-risk, also track record as well. Explore alternative financial methods to minimize upfront capital requirements. Maybe if it's a situation, you may be some vendor finance. Some sellers may offer financial options, reducing the need for immediate large cash outlays and allowing for flexible payment terms. So you may find a seller who doesn't need that money straight away to buy something else. They'll be a happy investor. They get rid of it because of maybe they've got a family dispute, partnership dispute, divorce, or whatever it may be. They need all the money at the moment, and they may have a situation where you can pay them off a period of time. So they get you get a good deal with the finance. Or other alternative could be partnership or joint ventures, getting together with a person. Pooling resources with other investors can also reduce individual capital burdens. So usually the higher value of the property, the higher the return. So for example, you may have $1 million to spend and someone else got $1 million to spend. And the return for a property could be something like 4%. When you pull it together and you get possibly $2 million together, that return could be 5%. So you're both getting more money, better return on your investment. Also, most people go for commercial loans. They normally require substantial down payment and have a requirement. Normally 20, 30, maybe even 40% the down payment required. It depends on the property's value and track record with credit. You've got to shop around for the best loan terms, considering factors like interest rates, loan duration, and repayment schedule. How they fit in with your cash flow, with your current income and the potential income of the property you're buying. If you plan to use your property for your own business, certain loans offer favorable terms. So that's worth considering. How do you find investors? There's various ways of doing it. You go to professional network, real estate event, industrial conferences, local real estate meetups, seminars, social media, or work with someone who understands the market, commercial real estate coach, or work with brokers. They can help you as well too. Possible some off-market deals if you know that after property, most agents know what's going on in the local area, know what's possibly coming up. I know the owners. They may be half considering selling or they're thinking about selling in 1 or 2 years' time and come along and use that property. Maybe not negotiate something off the market through the broker or a buyer's agent or a commercial estate agent, a commercial coach. They need expert guidance. They can assist you with property valuations, negotiations, and navigating complex transactions. So commercial real estate experts, coaches, they go through these all the time, understand what can go on and help you along the process. Once you find your property, you go into put your offer. Normally, put your offer in writing on the conditions you like. And you try to work the situation, you know what the owner wants, what you want, you try to find a happy medium and negotiate accordingly. So a well-structured offer can strengthen your position by clearly presenting your offer and intention. Once you've got a situation where you're negotiating pretty strongly, you've got to fine-tune your financial situation. So your bank or lender or your partners, whoever you're working with for the finance, you've got to provide financial statements, bank statements, proof of funds, that sort of thing. You've got to show your credit worthiness that you're negotiating. So are you the right type of person for the property? Are you just a tie kicker? You've got to show that you are serious about buying the property so they'll take your offer seriously. Because there are a lot of tie kickers out there who throw around silly offers. So you got your offer in, maybe you accepted, you got your finance sort of semi-organized, you're pretty confident about getting the loan, everything's in place, or getting in place slowly, or everything. And you're in a situation now where you're ready to move on. So you found the property, you've got an idea how you're going to finance it. Now it's the time to do due diligence. Thorough due diligence is critical to ensure the property meets your expectation and investment criteria. get zoning, verify your property's compliance with local zoning laws, and obtain necessary certificates of occupancy. Is there approval for that particular use? Don't assume that because it's been operating for the same use for the last 20 years, the original approval was for that. The council's attitude is, well, if they've been operating for 20 years without approval, they've been operating illegally for 20 years. So they may crack down on you, and you've got to be sure that they're allowed to do the operation. Because if someone, for example, may be running a restaurant there for 20 years, costs them a lot of money to set up, all of a sudden, there's no approval for it. It may get a situation where they can't get approval for it now. They have to close down. It's going to cost a lot of money in legal fees trying to sort it out. You don't want to be in that situation. Title work, usually done by your lawyer. Ensure clear title and investigate any liens or encumbrances that can affect ownership. Financial review. Go through all the leases, income and expenses, lease agreements, tenant history to assess its financial health. Is everyone paying on time? Look at their records. Is everyone behind their rent? Is there a regular change in tenancies? Have you noticed any people breaking the lease? Expenses going through the roof? Have an inspection of the place, property physical conditions, structural integrity, mechanical systems, safety features. Do they do regular fire check? Have they got records showing that it's been maintained? Is it up to scratch? Structurally, does it look sound? Does it look as though there may be a need for some renovations down the track? Or you may need to upgrade something, maybe fix up the bathrooms, or the lift may need replacing, possibility of replacing. Look at these things. You've got to factor them in. Buyers, you have to factor these in, because if you're spending this certain money to buy a property, there are these additional costs. So the price is affected by that. So if it's going to cost you $100,000 to fix up the lift, you factor it in. If it looks like it needs a thorough maintenance job, you factor it in as well. Environmental assessment. Things like, obviously, the extreme cases, obviously things like service stations or industrial places, they've been working with certain chemicals. Is it safe? Contamination or hazardous materials. They're quite common. Industrial places have used all these sort of chemicals for manufacturing. Are they safe? How much does it cost to clean it up? Factor it in. Also, people tend to overestimate the cost of getting the property up to scratch. Say, if a property needs to be cleaned up because it's polluted, it may cost you, look at the worst scenario, it may cost you $100,000. But you may be paying $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 less for the property. So it's worth it. If you can get an expert to say, listen, well, this is not going to cost you more than this much to decontaminate this site. People don't like buying problems. If the problem can be solved, and every problem has been solved with commercial property, reduce cost compared to the benefit, it can be worthwhile looking into it. Financing during due diligence. Lender discussion. Engage with potential lenders early to explore financing options and terms if you're using a lender. Obviously, ensure you've got pre-approval to streamline the closing process and demonstrate your seriousness to sellers. So you've got finance in place. Some sellers may say, have you got finance in place? Because people just look for properties before talking to the bank. So make sure it's there. Compare terms. Sometimes paying slightly more in interest may be worthwhile, depending on the terms. The terms have to suit your situation, your cash flow. Make sure you can pay it, and you feel comfortable about paying it off. Now it's time, the exciting time when you close the deal. Okay, you've agreed to a price, you've got your finance in place, everything's fine, ready to go. You're happy with all the demographic situation, what's got to be done. Then you've got to do a final inspection to ensure the property condition meet your expectations. Because between exchange of contract and settlement, things can happen. Go through a checklist. You may have agreed to certain things that have to be verified. Conditions, like verify repairs or conditions that have been addressed. And there are no new issues. Go through it all. Property transfer. Confirm the readiness of smooth transfer of ownership. Prepare paperwork. Ensure all required documents is completed and reviewed by a legal expert. Ensure you've got your down payment ready for your deposit. Have you drawn down payment and closing costs already? Have you got enough funds to keep it going if it's not occupied? You may be short on funds. You may want to do some additional work to it, whatever sort of thing. Have you got enough funds there? Legal review. Engage your commercial real estate lawyer to review all closing documents to ensure your interests are protected. Approvals are in place, leases are fine, all agreements are right. Congratulations, now you purchased the property. Look at your post-purchase strategy. Look at the possibility of making enhancements to increase a property's value and appeal. When you do loan negotiation, maybe factor them in. If it costs you an extra $200,000 in upgrades to get an extra income, amortize it over a couple of years. If it's making a profit, it's worthwhile doing. So go through upgrades, renovations and repairs, possibly improving energy efficiency, addressing deferred maintenance to attract better tenants and increase rental income. So if you upgrade your building to a better quality, you'll get better quality tenants who will pay more money. These upgrades can help you reposition your property to appeal to better tenants and improve your competitive edge and obviously income. So look at all these things. Is it worthwhile? Is there a better type of tenant moving in the place? How can you attract them? If it costs you a certain amount and they're paying a certain amount extra and there is a profit there, again, you do your maths, you've got artificial intelligence, do your spreadsheet, that sort of stuff. Work it all out. It could be worth your while. Look at demographics, what's happening in the area. Talk to local agents. Look at all the websites. Then your situation where you've bought the property, communication with tenant. Maintain open and proactive communication with your tenants to foster positive relationships. Regularly check with tenants. Prompt address of their concerns and provide high quality service to minimize vacancy. Stay on top of things. Tenants like to see owners, landlords, proactive. They want to see that you care for them. Your priority is to look after them. Look after them, or look after you in paying rent. If there's a problem there, fix it up straight away. It's got to be fixed anyway. It's a condition of the lease. If things are not going so well, maybe negotiate a payment period to suit them better. Have a plan so that you'll eventually get paid down the track. It's a win-win situation. Keep a good relationship. Look after them in the bad times. They'll look after you in the good times. Income optimization. Implement strategies to maximize rental income, such as adjusting lease terms, increasing rents in line with market rate, and reducing operational expenses. By following these steps and careful considering each aspect of the commercial real estate buying process, you can make informed decisions and navigate the complexities of the market with confidence. This comprehensive approach will set you on the path to successful real estate investment. So work with your real estate expert if you're not sure how to go through these things. They've been through it before. They can help you along the way. They can hold your hand. If I can help you, let me know. This is complexities from Seas to Properties. And subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.